Here on Eagle Mountain in Coquitlam, the most lavish dreams have become a reality at Westwood Plateau's Street of Dreams. Good evening and welcome to Red's Classic Theater. The concept of the Street of Dreams was born in Bellevue, Washington in 1985 and has spread to 25 cities throughout North America. Now, this development by Westbuild Enterprises is the first of its kind in Canada, and judging by the attendance so far, certain to be a huge success. And we'll show you more throughout the evening. Our movie this week is the 1983 winner, Terms of Endearment. The film took full advantage of the proven talent of Shirley MacLaine and Jack Nicholson, who both won Oscars. And watch for Danny DeVito in one of his earliest movie appearances. And by the way, later in the show, we'll give you the chance to win tickets on the Britannia Royal Hudson trip to Squamish from Harbor Ferries. And now here's Act One of Terms of Endearment. We're living a dream this week on Red's Classic Theater as we visit Westwood Plateau's Street of Dreams in Coquitlam. The concept of the Street of Dreams is to present all on one street a showcase of custom-built luxury homes created by teams of builders, designers, architects, and landscapers. And we've set up shop in the Briarwood by GTS Homes. And like all 7 homes on the Street of Dreams, it has some fabulous features. Among them, a wine cellar, an exercise room, a games room, but most special of all is Canada's first Dream Palace home theater. From its authentic theater chairs to the motorized curtain, this 9-seat basement theater offers the finest in home entertainment. The setup also features the ultra-realism of THX sound, originally developed by Hollywood motion picture genius George Lucas. And I'll be back with more in just a moment. Each home on the Street of Dreams has a different name reflecting its architectural style. In addition to the Briarwood, you'll also find the Sequoia, the Sovereign, the Emerald, the Lloydminster, the Balmoral, and the Shaughnessy. With the success of this year's Street of Dreams Festival, plans are being discussed to stage the event again next year. Now, if you'd like to ooh and ah over these magnificent homes, the Street of Dreams is open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 in the morning till 8 p.m. Closed Mondays except Labor Day. And now let's return to Terms of Endearment. Hope you're enjoying our presentation of Terms of Endearment on Red's Classic Theater as we visit the Street of Dreams on Eagle Mountain in Coquitlam. The movie's producer, writer, director James L. Brooks had worked mostly in television, and this movie was a real challenge. Until then, his greatest success had been in partnership with Alan Burns in creating the beloved Mary Tyler Moore Show. They won 4 Emmys in 7 years on the air, and later scored again with the hit TV sitcom Taxi. For Deborah Winger, Terms of Endearment offered the chance to solidify her promising young career in film. Earlier, she'd had good notices in Urban Cowboy with John Travolta and An Officer and a Gentleman with Richard Gere. On the set of tonight's movie, however, relations between Winger and Shirley MacLaine were said to be cooler than Alaska. And maybe Winger's outspokenness off-screen was to blame. At one point when she was working with Richard Gere, she described him as a brick wall, and she wasn't referring to his strength. And now let's return to Terms of Endearment. From the beautiful Street of Dreams in Coquitlam, it's time to look at our mailbag. But before we do, we're going to give away another 10 passes on the Britannia Royal Hudson trip to Squamish, courtesy of our mailbag sponsor, Harbor Ferries. Now, if you'd like a pair of tickets, call right now, 681-1212. That's 681-1212. And you'll be on your way to a day of real fun up to Squamish and back. That number again is 681-1212. And now let's look at the mailbag with the requests you've been sending in. Kathy Fielding from Victoria would like to see The Dark at the Top of the Stairs, starring Robert Preston and Dorothy McGuire. Lorraine Little from Delta requested QB7, starring Ben Gazzara and Anthony Hopkins. And if there's a motion picture you'd like to see or the suggestion of a location, write to Red Robinson, KVUS-TV in Vancouver. Next Sunday night on Red's Classic Theater, Diana Ross stars as Billie Holiday in Ladies Sings the Blues. And in 2 weeks, John Wayne and Stuart Granger, they star in North to Alaska. And now let's return to Terms of Endearment. Hope you're enjoying Terms of Endearment on Red's Classic Theater. And by the way, if you've been trying to get through to our switchboard to win day trip passes on the Britannia Royal Hudson, thank you for calling, but all the tickets are gone. For her efforts in tonight's movie, Shirley MacLaine won an Oscar as Best Actress after being nominated many times. And as she said in her acceptance speech at the Oscars, I really deserve this. McLean had been in demand constantly since her Oscar-nominated triumph in Irma la Douce in 1963. Following that came strong performances in Woman Times 7, Sweet Charity, and Two Mules for Sister Sarah. During the 70s, McLean was politically active and led the first women's delegation to China in 1973. And then she began a career as a writer of controversial books. Many of the topics were about New Age philosophies, and some even described her out-of-body experiences, while readers were either baffled or amused. But when she returned to the screen in 1977, McLean proved her acting talent had not diminished. Her role in The Turning Point again brought her an Oscar nomination. And now back to Terms of Endearment. From Eagle Mountain and the Street of Dreams, it's time for our movie trivia quiz. When Jack Nicholson won an Oscar for his performance in tonight's movie, he became only the third actor to win for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. Our question is, who were the other two? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment. And here's the answer to our trivia question. Before Jack Nicholson, only two actors won for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor categories. They were Jack Lemmon for Save the Tiger and Mr. Roberts, and Robert De Niro repeated defeat with Raging Bull and The Godfather Part 2. And now let's return to Terms of Endearment. Well, that concludes this week's edition of Red's Classic Theater. I hope you enjoyed Terms of Endearment. Be sure to join us next Sunday night on Red's Classic Theater for Lady Sings the Blues, starring Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams, and it's the life story of singer Billie Holiday. In the meantime, if there's a motion picture you'd like to see, or the suggestion of a location like the Street of Dreams, write to Red Robinson KVUS TV in Vancouver. And we'd like to thank Westbuild Enterprises, who are the developers of the Street of Dreams, for their hospitality, and in particular, Sylvia Lee. Now, you can visit the Street of Dreams from 10 o'clock in the morning until 8 p.m. at night. And the Street of Dreams will be closing September 27th. Bring the family out. And join us next Sunday night on Red's Classic Theater for the great motion picture, Lady Sings the Blues. Until then, from the Street of Dreams, good night, everybody.